Good evening, everybody. Right, I just want to check my mic before we go. I've got, so I'm going to use this one. Can everybody hear me okay? I hope so. Okay, let me get set up. Okay, this is the very last educational session for the Powered Up formula, and tonight I am going to be covering the liver health, the bigger subject of the liver and liver health and how important your liver health actually is. So as you've started to see and feel and felt the benefits of, your body fat is coming down, in particular your belly fat, and you're maybe down a couple of holes on your belt. Definitely you're seeing it on the scales, particularly if you've had weight to lose. If you were overweight before you started, you will definitely be feeling the benefits of that. And what's happening is you're starting to lose body fat from around your middle, your belly, and your liver is starting to get a bit of a glimmer of light. Because when you start eating into your own body fat stores as fuel and using them as fuel, it's an amazing energy source for a start, but also you're going to start to work away on your liver fat, which is exactly what you need to be doing. So what I'm going to suggest to you is this. The last 3 weeks that have gone by are just the very tip of the iceberg. It's only the very start of what's to come for you. I need you to continue to improve. I'm going to say body shape here, but I don't mean for, vanity reasons. What I mean is I need you to start really thinking about your liver health and what that means for your longer term health. It doesn't just mean your belly getting smaller and your holes in your belt, getting your belt getting tighter. It's so significant in your longer term health. It's pretty unreal. Now, your liver has got over 500 functions. It's an amazing organ. It's a rejuvenative organ, so it rejuvenates continually, and you batter it with alcohol and toxins and chemicals and all sorts of stuff, and it rejuvenates. It actually comes back again. But the thing about the liver is, it can only do that for so long. And it goes unnoticed initially. And when I say unnoticed, my dad was a very, very heavy drinker, and his liver function test always came back as normal. Now, this is the thing. It takes a long time for your liver to show up damaged. And when you look down, you might have a belly, and a distended belly, or a basketball belly, as I refer to it to. But actually, you could still be thin, like my dad was, and have a fatty liver. Now, obviously, if you've got a big belly, it's an indication that you do have liver fat. And if you've got liver fat, your liver is not functioning like it should be or could be, which is why I need you to focus more on your longer term health. It's not a 3 week or 4 week plan. It's not a 6 week plan. This is a long game plan. This is a lifestyle plan, an intervention, if you will, on how to change your life for life, and not just a short term quick fix to lose a bit of your belly. So there's a few different things that can go on with the liver. In fact, the first two I'm going to talk about is you can get an alcoholic fatty liver, or a fatty liver caused by alcohol. And you can also get a fatty liver caused by not alcohol. So a non-alcohol fatty liver condition, but also an alcoholic one. And I've referred to this in the past, in past educations. Children are displaying signs of an alcoholic fatty liver purely because of the fructose that they eat. The high fructose corn syrup that's in Coke, that's in cereals, sweeties, you name it, it's in everything. Every condiment that you pick up and you read, high fructose corn syrup is in there. Now, it's only the liver that can deal with fructose, just like it is alcohol. The whole body can't metabolize fructose or alcohol. It's in the main the liver, which is why children have now got signs of alcoholic fatty liver disease. How insane and scary is that all at the same time? So, Alcoholic fatty liver, non-alcoholic fatty liver still looks the same. It causes a scarring, and that scarring will show up as, or it's called cirrhosis. And you can get it from both fructose and alcohol, so from food and alcoholic drinks. So it can either be fatty, it could be fatty or inflamed, which generally it will be if you've been, drinking too much, eating so much junk food. And remember, GMO foods like corn, for example, are sprayed, and wheat are sprayed with the chemical Roundup, which is very toxic. It's an endocrine disruptor, but because of all the chemicals, the herbicides, pesticides, insecticides, it's the reason I tell you to go organic. So your liver can actually get a break from those toxins and those poisons. They should not be in your liver. They should not be in your body, full stop. But your liver's having to deal with that on a constant basis and doesn't ever get a let up or a break if you don't eat clean and you don't eat organic, of course. So between fatty liver and inflamed liver and scar tissue, then fat, that's worst case scenario. It doesn't matter if the fat comes from alcohol, the fat comes from food. If you've got fat in that liver and all the other fatty, inflamed and scarring, your liver can't perform. It cannot detoxify the body, and you will start to gain fat inside the liver and around the liver. And what actually happens is when your liver becomes inflamed and, well, it's swollen because, one, it's not happy, it's aggravated to hell, and it forms this protective layer, and it's a fluid-filled sac, and that's called ascites in it, and it could look like a big solid belly. Now, it doesn't feel like fat, you can't grab it, you can't, it's not blubbery fat, but it feels solid to touch. And that's what that is. That's your liver telling you, listen, I am not happy, but you are ignoring these signs. You're ignoring me. And it's only a matter of time before I show up. This is your liver talking to you, by the way. Before I show up in a blood test, but that could be 10 or 15 years down the road when the scarring is bad, when the cirrhosis is there. And if you've got cirrhosis, you can't undo cirrhosis. It's fibrous tissue in your liver that you can't undo. The damage is done. So it's rejuvenated all these years for you. It's done a great job for you, but there comes a point when your liver says, listen, chaps, I can't do this anymore. It's too much. And a lot of the time, you ignore these signs. So a few things that the liver does. The liver activates vitamin D. So you might be eating vitamin D, but if you've got a fatty liver, you can't convert it to the active form. So you could be vitamin D deficient, which come with a whole host of different signs and symptoms, even depression, backache. Actually, when you get up from the ground and you're pulling at your back, or you're trying to support your back. But just very quickly, just to touch on vitamin D deficiency, that could be the reason why, because your liver is screaming for you to stop doing what you're doing to it, and you can't produce the active form. The liver also buffers hormones, sex hormones, including estrogen, testosterone, and the stress hormone cortisol. So if you're too stressed, or you've got too much estrogen coming into the male body, because the environmental estrogens are the chemicals, they mimic estrogen, remember, or estrogen, and they block receptors, but also they clog up the liver and render it inefficient. And when you get a build-up of poison and toxin, it could show in the body as different things. It could show up, in fact, it could affect the bile production. Because of the fat in the liver, it will be an endocrine disruptor, so glands will stop speaking or producing enzymes that carry signals to different parts of the body, and things start shutting down or slowing down. It could affect your thyroid, it could definitely affect your mood and how you think and how you operate, your cognition, your concentration. It could show up as allergies. There's so many things it could show up as. You might actually get a pressure from the gallbladder on the nerve that runs right up from the gallbladder, right up to your right side into your trap, and it feels like you've pulled a muscle in your neck, or you've got trapezius pain, but actually your liver and your gallbladder are so inflamed and so unhappy that you think you've pulled a muscle in your neck. But actually you've got this right-sided referred pain and it's pushing on this nerve that runs all the way up. So there's a whole host of different things that could show up as different symptoms, but actually it all goes back to the liver. The liver also produces insulin-like growth factors. So insulin controls blood sugar when you eat. But when you don't eat, there's another hormone called insulin-like growth hormone, and that's produced by the liver also. So that's responsible for controlling blood sugar when you don't eat. So the liver's very, very important to maintain homeostasis and an equilibrium, so your blood sugar can remain on a consistent level that you can actually see the benefit of your efforts. You can actually see the benefit of your training, your steps, the amount that you're moving, the amount of time and effort you're putting into your meal plans. Your liver's going, oh my God, thank you. Your liver is absolutely delighted you're doing that. And it's going to show and it's going to tell because you're going to have more energy. The whites of your eyes are going to be whiter. Your brain, because the ketones from the liver are going to be produced to give you the most purest, beautiful energy. Your belly's going to go away. So you're going to start to see all these amazing things. That is your liver thanking you. Please just remember that. Your liver is saying, thank you. At last, he has seen the light. It detoxifies, as I said, the poisons in there, and the poisons get choked up in the liver, and the liver is responsible for getting rid of that. Loads of other things as well, but that's just a few. Okay, things to avoid then. You know alcohol, definitely. You know sugar. High fructose corn syrup because it's metabolised in the liver. And high fructose corn syrup is in everything, as is soy protein isolates. By the time soy protein isolates hit the liver, in fact, after the amount of processing that goes on, there's trace soy in there. So the benefits that soy would bring if it was organic are nil anyway. But soy protein isolates are very, very detrimental to your health, but they're in everything. They're in all these protein bars. There's probably some in protein drinks as well. Now, it's very hard to get away a very clean way, like protein, powder protein. So remember, we're aiming at this stage for 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, ideal weight, not the weight that you are right now. So you might start to take in protein shakes, particularly if you're weight training and you want to gain a bit of muscle. But just watch for soy protein isolates. Try and avoid them. Seed oils, obviously, the vegetable oils are very, very inflammatory. It's basically, there's hexane in there, which is a solvent. And when you think, really, are they really allowed to do this? Yes, they are, and they are doing it. And you're eating this stuff. You're not now, but you were, and you might still again if you go back to your old ways. And remember, like I said to you, everything is a choice. Once you hear this stuff, you can't unhear. And I'll always forever sit on your shoulder. And if you do ever have an illness or a something, or you ever get a diagnosis, and I hope you don't, of something, you will say, Shelley Booth told me this. I will stay here and I will not leave you. Omega-6 vegetable oils, hugely inflammatory. Now, some omega-6 is fine, but not in the quantities that we have it. So the vegetable oils and all the processed foods and the convenience foods are full of omega-6. We need a ratio of omega-6 and omega-3, and that's what we need as human beings. Now, a ratio of 1 to 1 would be perfect. 1 to 3, and when I say 1, I mean 1, say, omega-3, 1 omega-6 would be great, but if it's 3 omega-6, that's still tolerable. Your body could still deal with that. But at the moment, the standard American diet, the standard British diet, right now, we are 1 to 30, 1 to 33, 1 to even 35. It's way too high in favour of omega-6, which is hugely inflammatory at that stage. And you will get a fatty liver, an inflamed liver, a liver that's screaming at you to stop, but you'll still ignore it. You'll see the belly getting bigger, and you'll put it down to age, and you'll put it down to something. And it's not the something, it's what you eat, it's how much you move, the cortisol, it's what you think about, how you think. It's the stress that you've got in your life, how you de-stress or not, as the case may be. Okay. The great foods. Now, the crazy thing is when you present at the doctor and you're clearly overweight and you've clearly got a belly, a basketball belly or a fatty belly, like a wobbly fatty belly, your doctor in the main will tell you to eat low-fat foods. And it's the worst thing that you can do for your liver. Your liver needs good fats. It needs it. It needs cholesterol. Now you think we've been through cholesterol, you get it now, you understand it. There's pattern A and there's pattern B. There's small dense, which are really harmful, refined carbohydrates and sugars, and all the low-fat alternatives that your doctor will say, wheat, low-fat alternatives, go down that route. Small dense, LDL. That's what will be promoted. On the other hand, we've got large buoyant. So pattern A and pattern B. B is bad, small dense. Pattern A is large buoyant. Good fats are large buoyant. They're not going to get under the artery walls and cause you heart disease and cause you to have a stroke. You've been missold. But when you go to the doctor, when you're overweight, you will be encouraged to eat a low-fat diet. So you starve your body of the good fats required to aid fat loss. Read the book by Dr. Mark Heyman, and it's called Eat Fat, Get Thin. Please read it. So the foods that I'd like you to eat are, think about oils. MCT oil, like coconut oil, is amazing, and it doesn't rely on bile. So bile helps break down fats, but MCT doesn't require bile. So it's really efficient and fast. And actually acts as a lubricant as well. So when you start to detoxify, sometimes you do get constipated. And you're eating more vegetables, which actually you think, oh, the fibre in there will make me go. But sometimes the fibre clogs you up if you have a poor ratio of bacteria and you've got a poor microbiome as a whole. So we're fixing everything as we go. So I'm probably chucking too much at you at the moment, but MCT oil is a really good fat to have. When I cook with cold pressed organic coconut oil, MCTs, medium chain triglycerides. Olive oil, have that on your salads. Don't cook with it. At a certain heat, at high heat, it will coagulate and it becomes a trans fat. Now you don't want a trans fat because that's what's clogging your arteries. That is what's doing the damage. That will create small dense LDL particles. At high heats, it's not good. It's fine to have on your salads. In fact, it's so heart healthy, really good quality olive oil, but don't get olive oil from Costco and any cheap shops. TK Maxx, don't buy food from TK Maxx. TK Maxx is not a food shop. Or any of the other supermarkets. Please watch the vegetable oils because they're really they've become rancid because they've been mixed with other things, including omega-6, corn oils and seed oils and bean oils. You don't want that. We're avoiding that, but you buy it because it says olive oil on the bottle. Extra virgin, there's actually a company, an Italian company. If I can find it, I'll put the link into your course content. I don't have it, but I want to get it, so leave that with me. But these, and butter also will help protect your liver against becoming fatty, believe it or not. Wild caught fish would be amazing, so salmon, and the steak and eggs diet that I promote now and again, which is so good for you at various times of the year when you need a burst of a 14-day program or something, and I run a steak and eggs 14-day program. You'll see it on my website, and they will come up frequently throughout the year, so stay tuned for that. Or you can even see it on the website. But if you don't eat steak, you could replace the steak for fatty fish. Wild caught salmon would be great. But any fatty fish, oily fish would be great for your liver. Pasture raised eggs, organic eggs, choline, is amazing for your liver. But when you go on a low-fat diet, you minimise choline, but your liver needs it. And your liver needs it to clean up the liver and get rid of the fat that's in it. So we've been completely missold. This whole low-fat myth that it creates a healthy environment, it helps you lose fat. It actually doesn't. It promotes the absolute opposite. It depletes your body of the nutrients it needs because you're negating good fats from your diet that you absolutely need, instead of fine carbohydrates and low-fat garbage that's doing the damage, not the good fats, the avocados, the nuts, even cheese, even cream, whole milks, goat's cheese, good quality dairy, organic dairy, good quality animal meats. That's not doing the damage. That's actually helping your liver. The rest of the stuff is damaging your liver. And green cruciferous vegetables, in fact, please research this, gentlemen. There's green cruciferous is a concentrated, or you can get a concentrated version called DIM, D-I-M, and it is amazing for male health and female health. Please research it. Green cruciferous or leafy vegetables, broccoli, what am I thinking here? Spinach, kale. Please watch though. Too much spinach has oxalates in it, and oxalates can create stones, like kidney stones. So too much of spinach might also not be a great thing, but it's definitely good to have a few times a week. But broccoli, sprouts, bok choy, anything green really is amazing. Cabbage, amazing for you, and amazing at a liver cleanse also, for a liver cleanse. So it's foods that you can eat. So all in all, your liver health is vital. It is so important for your longer term health. It will actually help you feel energized when you start to clean up your liver, when you start to detoxify. I'm going to talk to you very briefly about fasting. Fasting will help your liver detoxify and help your liver actually kick out the poisons. In fact, all of your body will level up. You'll use ketones as energy. You'll use your body fat stores as energy. You'll clean up all the dead, misfolded proteins, and you'll actually self-eat and self-cleanse when you fast. Now, I've gave you an extra meal plan for next week just as a bonus, and you'll see fasting on there. And at week 4, you could be ready to fast. But if you're still hungry and you're still craving carbohydrate-based foods, then you're not ready to fast. I need you to follow the meal plan for another 4 weeks. No fasting. Don't even think about fasting. Follow the meal plan. And if you're going to come on to a steak and eggs challenge with me, that's amazing. I'll talk you through the whole thing when we start steak and eggs. But for now, if you're still craving, if you're still getting regular slumps of feeling tired through the day and wanting to eat carbs, then you're not ready to fast. But if you are ready and you feel fat adapted, which means you're not craving carbs, you can go from meal to meal without feeling like you need something sweet. You can go from meal to meal without feeling like you're hungry, so you're actually satiated, you're full after your meals. When you get your next one, sometimes you're thinking, I can't eat again, I'm still full. That's a really great indication that you're fat adapted. So when you introduce fasting, what you might want to do is miss a breakfast initially, maybe once a week for now, maybe on a Tuesday and a Thursday to start with. I fast most mornings. It's how my body operates, it's how I work, it's amazing for me. So right through the night, I'm fasting because I'm sleeping. I don't break my fast with breakfast. I break my fast about 1 o'clock and I have a lunch. Sometimes I actually do 1 meal a day, which is also amazing. And it's amazing if you've got weight to lose. If you're carrying a lot of body weight, a lot of body fat, to a point that you're obese or your BMI is in the obese category, then you could do one meal a day very easily if you're fat adapted. You have a big calorific meal at night, for example, or at a time that suits you, and that's what you have all day. Now, you're not calorie counting, you're not thinking about your portion size, you're eating a big substantial meal, and it's really satisfying. So what you'll do is you'll spike not spike, but your insulin will rise, obviously, because you're eating various different things from vegetables. Remember, vegetables are carbohydrates, and so are fruits. So you will get an insulin pop, if you like. But because it's just one a day, it'll be one blip, as opposed to 3. And if you're ready for that, it's amazing. Maybe you just want to do 2 meals. Maybe you just want to fast once a week, twice a week for now, just to see how you go with it. Because what you don't want to do is tip yourself over the edge and think, oh, I'm starving. Give me a bagel, give me a sandwich. You don't want to do that. You only fast when you're ready. So what I've done for you is I've put fasting on the meal plan for next week. It's a bonus meal plan. It's free. It's yours to have, just to keep you going for after we finish on Monday. And fasting is on there, but if you don't want to fast, I would like you to pick a meal from a previous meal plan that you've enjoyed. So if there's fasting in the morning and you don't want to fast, find a breakfast that you really enjoyed and slot that in instead. Okay, until you're ready, until you're fat adapted and you're ready to fast. But as one of the handiest tools you can have, please research Autophagy. It is anti-aging, it's a biohack, it will help you live longer. There's research to say that people who fast live longer lives, healthier lives. It's amazing. It's a proper cleanse of mind, body and soul. When you get your plate of food, when you've been fasting, I've done a few 48-hour fasts. In fact, I've done longer than that as well. See, when you sit down and eat your food, even if you've fasted at breakfast time, and you're used to having a breakfast. See, when it comes to lunchtime, you so appreciate your food. It makes you actually appreciate from farm to plate where the food's come from. It's organic, you've put time and effort into finding organic cream, for example, to cook or to put into your curry. You love your food. It makes you appreciate it, makes you stop being so gluttonous and expecting food just to be there. That's not how we're supposed to live. Food's supposed to be scarce, so we can get the enjoyment of it, we'll get the nourishment of it, and actually it's a driving force. It's a motivation to be fit enough to get the food, to find the food, to forage. That's built into our DNA, but we sit and it's all free and easy and we take it for granted. So fasting actually brings a bit of that back again, your inner caveman. It's amazing. So that's that for tonight, gentlemen. We have a mindset session on Friday and then we finish on Monday. So between now and Friday, I want you to move as much as possible, get the workouts in. You might even find a workout that you really like on YouTube. You might find one of mine on YouTube that I've done over the years. There are many. Just move and enjoy it. Enjoy how you move. If you hate press-ups and it makes you just can't bear it and it puts you off doing a workout, don't do press-ups. Just because I've done them in the workout, do something that you enjoy, but just move. Hot and cold therapy is really amazing also, so a sauna or a cold plunge. The research is incredible. If you can cycle, walk, jog, run, swim, do something cardiovascular, that would be great for your heart and lungs, and something for your muscles, so something that's resistance training. Also, when you add a bit of a bounce, you might not be ready to bounce or jump right now because your knees won't take the weight or you're just not fit enough yet. That's okay. But plyometric, initiating a stretch reflex bounce movement, is really great for building bone density. As we're getting older, our bones are getting thinner. It's really important that we increase the bone density by 1, what we eat, 2, minimise stress, but also 3, some plyometric training. But you have to be ready for that. So if it's too early in the day for that, that's fine. But if you're ready for a bit of like maybe squat jumps and things and lunges, like jumping up after every lunge, then add a bit of that in as well. Okay? Research plyometric training. I'll see you on Friday. Okay, take it easy. Have a great couple of days. See you soon.